Is it possible to mathematically calculate the fewest number of items of clothing you'll have to own so you never repeat an outfit for an entire year? Well, you can. And I have. Which is why for this video, I really put in the effort. I keep a long list of video ideas. Oh, so long. But on that list, when I was flicking through it the other day, was just a Reddit URL. So I followed that, and it was a post on the math subreddit that the mods had since removed, and the original poster had deleted it, and then deleted their account. So there wasn't much left for me to work out why I'd saved that URL, but looking at the comments that survived, it seems the original poster was asking how many items of clothing would they need to own so across the course of a year they would never repeat an outfit by combining those bits of clothing. At least that's what I choose to believe it said, because that is a mathematically interesting question. Now, my first mathematical thought was regret. Maths regret, that I'm no longer a high school maths teacher. Because if I came across this when I was teaching in a school, I absolutely would have got 31 ties and numbered them on the back and worn them in the same order every month, and then had 12 shirts and worn them. Okay, washing, let's not worry about that, but I would have worn a different shirt per month, and then I would have had a unique outfit for every single school day, and I would have found that so funny. And I now miss being a teacher, just a little. It's a great career. And I was like, that would have been hilarious. But actually, that would have been inefficient, because 31 ties times 12 shirts is 372 possible combinations. Can we be more efficient? We'll break down the case for exactly 365 outfits. 365 is not a prime number. It is 73 times 5. They're both prime numbers. That's as far as you can break it down. So you would need to own 73 of something, maybe shirts, and then 5 of something else. So if you don't wear ties, which is fine, that would be like 5 trousers. You can choose your own categories. And that would be exactly 365 outfits. Leap years though, they're 366 days. So I guess your options are to either go full 366, so that would be 2 times 3 times 61. So 2 trousers, 3 shirts, 61 hats, and that will cover you. And there's an outfit that only comes out once a year. Or you stick with 365, and once every 4 years, go naked. That said, for all of these categories, there is the null whatever. And some categories do and don't lend themselves to that. Particularly if you're a maths teacher, you could probably get away with the null tie, maybe a null hat. That's probably about it. The point is, choosing to not wear something is also an option. So we're splitting numbers into their prime factors, and then you've got to have categories that have as many options as each of those prime values, and you might choose one of those options as just not wearing that thing. Right. Let's talk about efficiency. Here's the thing, we don't care about how many outfits, as long as we've got enough to cover a year. Surplus, that's fine. We care about the fewest number of items of clothing. And the 365 one, that's 78 items of clothing if you add up all the prime factors. And for 366, that's actually better. That's come down to 66 items of clothing. Although the hilarious 31 ties, 12 shirts, that's a mere 43 items of clothing. So actually, by overshooting the number of combinations, we can reduce, potentially dramatically, the number of items of clothing. What we'll need to do is just sum the prime factors for all the numbers bigger than 366 and see what's the smallest, which I did. And I put them all in a spreadsheet. First of all, over here, I plotted what this looks like as you increase the number of outfits, and you can see the primes are just these spikes at the top, and there's no rhyme or reason to them. They're primes, classic primes, and even the in-between ones, there's just not much of a pattern because it's prime factors. Like, primes defy nice, neat patterns. So the easiest answer here is just to sort. So you know what? I'm gonna select everything. Sort by number of items, smallest to largest. Here we go, 17. You're not gonna beat 17 items. In fact, there are 4 different ways you can do 17. That's pretty sweet. So, oh my goodness, you can just have 2 in 7 categories and then 3 in 1. Or you could have fewer categories here. Maybe you want to minimize categories because you can do 17 and get 405 outfits with only 5 categories. A 3x3 by 3 by 3 by 5. That would do it. So we kind of want to maximize outfits, although as long as it's more than a year, we're satisfied the conditions. We want to minimize items, but we also want to minimize potentially number of categories, because then you've got fewer different things you've got to change in your outfit every day. Although, do we want to minimize the biggest number in one of the categories? Because if you're prepared to have a few more items, you could down here do a 5 by 7 by 11. That's only 23, and you've only got to vary 3 different categories. But 11 in one category, oh, wait a minute. We've just reached the end of maths and the beginning of shopping. I will, of course, link to the spreadsheet in the description below if you want to have a look at the numbers for yourself. However, I think I can't carry on this analysis any further without actually going shopping. I've got to discover what are the practicalities of buying clothing in different categories that can then be swapped to get a certain number of outfits. So the simple,
You know what's even easier to change than your outfits? It's me, Business Matt. And that picture up there is from Displate.
so easy to change. In fact, Regular Matt, can you go grab the other ones? Great. Now, Displate, those things, held up by magnets.
Yes, thanks to Displate's tool-free, safe for walls, quick swapping magnet system, you can easily switch between the over 2 million different artworks available on their unique metal canvases. Now, if you can't find the designs you want, they do have a custom Displate option for your own artwork, but we were easily able to find multiple Displates that we wanted here at Stand Up Maths. It was producer Nicole who went for this classy number, whereas camera person Alex picked this. I think it's from Warhammer.
And which one did I get? Oh, thanks, Regular Matt, who's definitely standing right there. I went for Pac-Man. And this month, Displate have a Black Friday deal for up to 2 plates, 37% off, up to 4 plates, 43% off, and more than 4 plates, 46% off. That's basically half of them free, rounded to the nearest whole metal plate. If you use the code STANDUP or click the link in the description, I imagine there's a QR code on the screen somewhere, and that discount includes the Textra plates. Those are plates with an extra 3D effect that really makes them pop. So please do check out Displate, use code STANDUP for a tiered structure of discounts, and thank you so much to Displate for sponsoring this video. Okay, and can we get the original? Thank you. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to hit the actual high street and see what clothes cost.
So let's go shopping now. While we have no idea who the person is, we can use me as a substitute, and we don't know where they would have bought clothes. So I figure I'll go to Oxford Street. This is one of the most iconic shopping districts for clothes in the world, definitely in the UK, and I'm gonna spend as little money as possible within my fashion and ethical limitations and see if I can buy a year's worth of outfits.
I realized pretty quickly, once you're dealing with a serious item of clothing in like a hoodie or something, you're not getting that for under 30 pounds. And if you want a shirt or trousers, that's definitely north of 50 pounds. For a nice one, you're touching 100 quid. So if I strayed into too many categories and had to get multiple jumpers or something, I'm gonna blow the budget real fast. And I found the sock loophole. Pack of 5 socks from John Lewis, 15 pounds. That's 3 quid each. Oh, but does that count? Socks? Either way, small things might be the winner, as long as I can still make it count as a proper outfit.
Okay, some of you may have seen this coming. I've instantly run into the problem of style. So I could just, this is my classic kind of Gork core look. I could shop for my everyday wear, or I could try and shop to dress like a maths teacher. What I mainly want to do is not just spend money unnecessarily. So I'm either going to buy things I will continue to wear, or I'll buy stuff that I figure I can sell on eBay afterwards for charity. So if you're shopping for the maths teacher in your life, keep an eye out at the end of the video.
Okay, I've hit math teacher pay dirt here with, oh, come on, with the ties. Look at this. So I could easily rack up,
as many as I need from here. I could do, so the 1175, we're talking 23 items, but only 3 categories. So I could pick cheap categories. I could stock up on ties, I could do maybe socks. 385 outfits. What I would like to do is get down, like, I mean, it's still a lot in the one category though. Or I can get down to the 5553. That's only 18 items. We're talking 375 outfits. But now I gotta find like 4 different categories. It'd be like 5 ties, 5 shirts, 5 socks. I mean, socks feel like they're so cheap. 3 trousers? I don't know. We'll see. Do I go for fewer categories but I need a lot of them in each category, or more categories, fewer in each one? I mean, the one thing that's not up for debate is I'm buying that tie. And at least 2 of these. Okay, in the end I've gone full maths teacher, so I only got 5 ties, and I could have got them as cheap as £10 each, but I went for ones that I feel have more visual difference and more likely for other people to buy them once the video is done. They averaged me £12 and I think like 40 pence each. Again, could have got that down. And then I went for shirts, and the multi-pack shirts were the ticket. They came down to £18.20 each for 5 shirts. I think the idea of changing categories, so instead of doing 17 in the same category, the fact that I pay basically the same for the shirts and the ties, but because I switch categories, combinations go up. So I think in the end that's the right decision. Now I am going to cheat and go for the sock loophole. I'm going to get the 5 socks for £3 each. Come on, I gotta get this cost down. And then finally, hats. I mean, I genuinely need, well, I'm already wearing the null hat. I'm gonna allow that. And I genuinely need 2 new hats. They're for me. So that's the plan. Total will appear on the screen in a second. I now own enough items of clothing to wear 375 different outfits. But of course, I can't put on 375 outfits in one YouTube video. I mean, to do that, it would take a whole day. I'd need to hire a studio so I could do a elaborate stop motion catwalk sequence, which of course we've done. Here are all 375 outfits. We ran out of time. We literally got kicked out of the studio. You think 4 hours is enough, but no. So, I mean, I was gonna catch the ball. We had a whole final routine. The only thing we could do now, I guess, is just keep going as planned here in the office. So I'm gonna do that. That's how it's done. Never wearing a tie again. 2 days of my life. I think we can all agree it was worth it. Hope you enjoyed it. 375 outfits. Although, fun fact, we missed one. If you can, I saw it when I reviewed the footage. If you can find it, comment below. I'll be very impressed. So, in conclusion, the fewest number of items you can own and not repeat an outfit for a year is 9. Because if you go back to the 384 solution, which is the one with the most categories for only 17 items, because there's so many categories, if you put a null
in every single category. You got 7 binary, you either wear it or you don't. And then you got a single 3, so that's 2 items in the null. So there you are, 9. Although actually, you can get 512 outfits out of 9 items. Because if you just have 9 binary categories, you wear it or you don't. If you can find 9 categories of clothing where it's acceptable to just not wear it. You can't own other items, don't forget. Maybe you can, I don't know. Anyway, 512, 2 to the 9, there you are, 9 items. That is the absolute minimum, although practically, as I discovered, because not all categories of clothing cost the same, you want to also balance off minimizing the number of categories, so you're not, once you're buying trousers and jackets, it gets so expensive. So I would say in reality, 17 or 18 items, although if you want to go your entire life, never wearing the same outfit twice, 29 items. Yeah, 29 items. You got 9 categories with 3 each, a single 2 item category, and that will give you 39,366 individual outfits. That's over 107 years. I mean, you'll have to pick a size and commit to it for life. And as they wear out, I guess you can replace them? Nah, I don't know. I don't know the rules. Anyway, combinatorics, hey? Woo, things explode real quick. 29 items for a lifetime, over a century of clothes. There you are. That's basically it. Thank you so much for watching. If you do want any of the clothes from this video, imagine buying one of these for your maths teacher. Now there's a Christmas gift, or you, if you are a maths teacher. I will sell, these will all be on eBay. All the money goes to WaterAid or for charity. I'll put up all the socks as well, and the shirts. I will wash them all. That's not, don't get weird. And you can buy them for yourself or for the math teacher in your life. And on Patreon, I'll give you the behind the scenes. Yes, we could have done the stop motion better. I automated it with terrible Python code. I'll do the behind the scenes on Patreon, because if things have no educational value, I don't mind putting them on Patreon. But the fine Patreon people support these videos, so the content's out there for everyone, the useful bits. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Christmas shopping for your new, incredibly efficient wardrobe.